Hello everyone, this is Delina. Today I will be quickly showing you how to populate the Gantt Chart template. All committee leads for Central Pathfinders Environmental Foundations projects will be required to submit a Gantt chart. This is simply because from both an executive standpoint as well as a committee lead standpoint, it allows for proper monitoring of activities and of a time frame, as well as for proper planning, so that you're very well aware of what needs to occur in order to complete and ensure the success of your project. This is our template. It includes your project name, lead, and members, consists of general phases, tasks or activities, resource names, which would essentially be filled from your project member pool, as well as a timeline. This is an example of a draft Gantt chart. So the project here was EcoCamp, and the phases selected were planning, implementation, and post-mortem. It is up to the committee lead to decide what their phases would be. Of course, there would always be a planning, a closing, and the implementation phase. But it's up to you how you may term it and what the phases themselves may be. For instance, in the short film competition, Ronaldo selected his phases as pre-production, film production, and editing. Under each phase, there will be a different activity and different resources assigned to be charged with this activity. It is again up to the committee lead to decide what sort of time frame they're looking at. So for instance, if a project would only last 1 week, you would have 3rd of June, 4th of June, 5th of June, 6th of June, 7th of June, etc. For longer term projects, by week tends to be a more suitable time frame. Taking a look at this example, we can see that selecting a time frame and venue has already been completed. The persons charged with this were Delina and Ronaldo. The booking of the venue under Delina is still ongoing, according to our legend. And activities such as purchasing materials to be done by Vicky has not yet started, because this is coded for the 1st and 2nd week of July. But before we even get here, how do we know what to put in its content? Very simply, there are some key questions we need to ask ourselves. This can be done with your committee, or if you're a very experienced project lead, you may already know what a lot of these activities are. But the first question is, what do I actually need to do to complete this project? What are the different activities? You may need to set objectives, decide on a venue, meet with stakeholders, and really there would be a lot more activities broken down to very basic blocks. You'd then need to think, how long will this activity take? Perhaps setting objectives will take only 1 day, perhaps it may take 3. Deciding on a venue, that may take 2 weeks. You also need to decide who will actually do these activities, so that we have a key point person who's responsible for it. At the end of the day, the committee lead is responsible for all that goes on in the project, but you may want to delegate certain tasks to committee members. So Esther Kisoon, for instance, is charged with meeting stakeholders, and we will of course have a list of who these stakeholders are. After we've listed all of the different activities, we would then put how long it takes and who will do it. We'll need to have an idea of the order of these activities. So it would be a good idea to set objectives before we meet with our stakeholders. So we would list this in this column and then actually order our activities. Once that's complete, it will be a real breeze just to stick them into this template and fill it out. In terms of filling the columns of the Gantt chart, we're using just the fill button, and of course you can add or delete columns and rows as necessary. Rows as necessary. And that is it for now on completing our Gantt chart. Thank you.